Hello everyone, hope you are enjoying the learning. So today we will discuss the function of cell membrane because in the last class we saw the cell membrane is selectively permeable membrane. It can allow entry and exit of only selected substances into and out of the cell. So let us discuss today how does it manage that. Before going into that, we will do a quick revision of this. Write three differences between cell membrane and cell wall. If you remember, let me bring out my tablet. Okay. So write three differences between cell membrane and cell wall. If I draw a line over here, write cell membrane and cell wall. What are the three differences? The first one was cell membrane is made up of lipid and protein, whereas cell wall is made up of cellulose. Second difference, this is living, cell membrane is living, cell wall is dead. Third difference, cell wall is soft and flexible. Cell membrane is soft and flexible, cell wall is rigid and hard. Fourth difference, it is selectively permeable and this is permeable. So, so these are some of the differences between cell membrane and cell wall. Next question is, what is endocytosis? If you remember, we had studied this endocytosis in amoeba. Endo means inside, cyto means cell. So substances get inside the cell and we had seen this in amoeba where food gets inside the cell because of flexibility of cell membrane. So these two are important questions. Do revise it properly. So topic that we are going to study today is diffusion. What is diffusion? Diffusion is simple intermixing of substances. It can take place in all the mediums. That is solid, liquid and gases. It is a very slow process. And that is why we say diffusion is not sufficient to meet the oxygen requirement of multicellular organisms. Because in multicellular organisms, we have many cells and every cell is not in direct contact with the environment. So what will happen because of that? The cell which is in contact with environment, that will take the oxygen and that will proceed further towards the other cells. So this takes a long time, and so it is not sufficient to meet the oxygen requirement of multicellular organism. Next is osmosis. Osmosis is movement of water or solvent. Movement of water from higher concentration to lower concentration. If I look at there, through A, then writing goes bad. Through A, selectively permeable membrane. So, movement of water from higher concentration to lower concentration through a selectively permeable membrane is known as osmosis. It can be of two different types: end osmosis, end means inside, and X osmosis. X means outside. So, if water moves from some medium into the cell, it is called end osmosis. If the water moves out of the cell, it is called X osmosis. Now, when will X osmosis and when will end osmosis take place? We will see this, and how can we say what has taken place? What are the different types of solutions that we will consider when we study osmosis? As I had told you yesterday, if a membrane is selectively permeable, it allows movement on both the sides. That means if this is one cell, this is medium, water will move out of the cell also and will get into the cell also. Okay, but how do we decide whether the water has got what amount of water goes into the cell and what comes out of the cell? That will decide what has taken place, which of the processes has taken place, whether exosmosis has taken place or endosmosis has taken place. So suppose I have kept this in a beaker. Let us take as an example, and or let me draw once again, because that is a very big cell. So suppose this is a cell, this is filled with some liquid and water is coming out of this, water is going into this. Suppose 10 molecules of water go inside the cell, but 20 molecules of water have come out of the cell. What will be the end result? More molecules of water have come out of the cell, so the end result is water is coming out of the cell. 10 molecules have water molecules have come out of the cell, so net result is water is coming out of the cell. So this process will be called exosmosis. Now similarly, if we have another beaker where we have a cell, this is also filled with a solution, and here also water is going out, water is coming out. So suppose 10 molecules of water have gone inside and 10 molecules of water have come outside. So what is happening over here? No net result of movement of water is zero. So neither more water has gone inside, neither less water has come out. So equal amount of water goes inside, equal amount of water molecule comes out. So the solution that we have in this beaker is known as isotonic solution. What about the solution that we have over here? This type of solution is known as hypertonic solution. Now the third one is 10 molecules of water come out and 15 molecules of water get inside. So more water is getting inside the cell. Water goes inside the cell. This is the net result. Water is going out, coming out also, water is going in also. But what is the net result? More molecules of water are going inside the cell. So this we write water goes inside the cell. This kind of process is known as end osmosis. And what kind of solution we have over here? The solution that we have over here is known as hypotonic solution. So we have two processes, exosmosis where water is coming out of the cell and endosmosis where water goes inside the cell. And three different types of solutions depending upon whether the water is going inside the cell or coming out of the cell. One solution is where no movement of net result movement of water is zero. Neither water is going inside the cell nor it is coming out of the cell because equal number of molecules of water are going into the cell and coming out of the cell. So that kind of solution is known as isotonic solution. But in case of one example we saw that less number of water molecule is getting inside the cell and more molecule of water is coming out of the cell. So net result is water is coming out of the cell. If we have this kind of condition, the solution that in which we had put the cell is known as hypertonic solution. In case of another example we saw, less number of water is coming out of the cell and more water molecules are going inside. If this is happening, net result is water is getting inside the cell and the solution is hypotonic solution. So we have three different types of solutions: isotonic, hypotonic and hypertonic. Let us see how do we remember, because whenever we have this kind of explanation where one is happening because of the other, students generally have confusion. So how do we remember this? X osmosis and osmosis. We will not consider isotonic because in isotonic solution no water movement was, net result was zero. We have these four terms: exosmosis, endosmosis, hypertonic and hypotonic. Now what we do, we remove all the common words. For example, here also we have osmosis. Here also we have osmosis. We will remove this. Here also we have tonic. Here also we have tonic. We will remove this. Now we write the alphabets that are left over here. Number of alphabets. How many alphabets are there? 1 and 2. How many in this case? 1, 2 and 3. How many in this case? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. How many in this case? 1, 2, 3, 4. And we take one from this combination and one from this combination. And when we take this, what we will do? We will add the numbers and the numbers should be similar. That means 2 plus 5 is equal to 7 and 3 plus 4 is equal to 7. Now, what does it mean? If we have a hypertonic solution, X osmosis will take place. If we keep a cell in hypertonic solution, always X osmosis will take place. This is just to make you remember. If we keep a cell in hypotonic solution, end osmosis will take place. So this is to remember that this should be equal. If it is equal, how can it be equal? By adding 2 and 5 we get 7, by adding 3 and 4 we get 7. So 5 is for hypertonic. So if we keep a cell in hypertonic solution, what has to happen? X osmosis has to happen. So if we keep a cell in hypertonic solution, X osmosis will occur. And if we keep the cell in hypotonic solution, end osmosis will occur. There are numerous examples from our daily life where we can show this end osmosis and X osmosis. We will discuss those examples tomorrow, and uh, along with the reasonings, what can be the reason where X osmosis is occurring and where end osmosis is occurring. So this is all for today. Go through the process. Just understand what are the different types of solution, what is osmosis, what is diffusion. So tomorrow we will come up with different questions which are related to osmosis and hypotonic solutions. Okay, so bye for today. Have a great day. Happy learning. Subscribe the channel. If you like, share it with your friends. Thank you for watching.